Hey, what's up Wukong mains? Welcome back. I hope you'll enjoy your stay. In this video we are going to talk all about what is wrong with Warframe at the moment. From not listening to the community to DE making statements they can't hold. Join me in this discussion and let's gather some points on how to make the game better. But before we head in, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more Warframe videos. Alright, so what is actually wrong with the game? I'd like to break this down in a few segments to quarantine them and not have them spill over to each other too much. Topic number 1. There isn't enough content. This might disturb you a little bit, but if you think about it just a little, there literally isn't enough content to keep a player invested in the game for longer than MR12, unless they really enjoy the gameplay itself. As an example, as of right now, there are 29 quests in the game. Yes, that is counting in side quests like Sands of Inaros and the Limbo Theorem to bolster the numbers a little bit, of which most of these quests take you no longer than max half an hour, maybe an hour if you really take in what is happening and go through it slowly. And sure, you could count in ranking weapons and gathering resources for those quests as playtime, but it isn't really connected. Just because I need 2000 chaotic for a quest doesn't mean that the hour I need to spend on that, if not more, counts as quest time. It surprises me that the Warframe community isn't more butthurt about the lack of actual high-quality, story-driven quests in the game. Like, do you not care about the plot or the story at all? It's been 7 years, and all DE has to show for are 29 quests, of which 6 are side quests, and 3 or 4 are tutorial quests, which in my eyes don't even count. What holds DE off of putting more effort into story-driven quests? Is it that they are afraid that a new quest might not be as good as the second dream? Is it that they are failing to write a decent story that connects with the current or previous events? None of these reasons should be a bother really. They won't be able to recreate the feeling we players had during the second dream. And that's okay. The game was in a different stage and it wasn't in a different time. But just look at the stories that a single creator called Retalius came up with. History of frames, bits of information about past and future events, more emotional content than DE has ever put out themselves, and the Warframe community loves it. For good reasons. They are well written, the vibe given through music, visuals, and a good voice actor is captivating, and the stories themselves are relevant to the game. The new war is still not finished. And I don't find that the short videos we got to see should represent what the new war is all about. They have made an amazing trailer, full with MoGraph suits, insane graphics, and all in all, just incredible quality. The new quest, the new war, that was supposed to launch a new era of Warframe is everything but that. Sadly, I don't see DE putting in more effort here, even though that is what they absolutely should do in my opinion. Topic number 2. Gameplay is lacking. Severely. So within Warframe, there are about 10 to 12 mission types. Within those 10 to 12 mission types, the content can be broken down to the following. Get X and defend Y, defend Y, kill X amount of enemies, survive for X amount of time. Those are the 4 main objectives in the game. There are 18 planets, or places where missions happen in the game. They all need to be cleared in order to get access to the actual quote-unquote end game. You think that there will be more actual objectives, especially since it's not that odd in the looter-shooter genre to fight bosses, have some actual team play to solve a puzzle, etc. But you won't find this in Warframe, except for Eidolons and Prophet Taker maybe, which you are able to kill solo easily if you spend some time on learning how the mechanics actually work. Hell, we're still waiting for the third fight, which still hasn't been promoted since the start of Orbivalis. It's getting a little boring to have to do the same shit over and over, with no real change or variation. Disruption at least brought a tiny amount of variation, but in the end, it's just get X and defend Y with some stronger enemies in between. Longer survivals, be it in normal missions or in Steel Path, don't matter anymore. I haven't given up on them, it's just that the time spent doesn't feel rewarded with the amount of resources you get. But I'll get into this a little more in the next topic. Topic number 3. Steel Essence. Yeah, I know. Me. Steel Essence, you can still get a fair amount, blah 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 blah. Seriously, shut up. The amount of Steel Essence gained without having the absolute best or perfect gear is about 150 in 3 hours time of survival. That is with a full squad and loot multipliers. Those in the squad with a Smida received around 214 to 224 Steel Essence. That is 3 full hours of non-stop gameplay. Something only a small amount of players can do, and an even smaller amount of players are willing to do. Now, why was the Steel Essence farm nerfed this hard? Simply said, it was a direct nerf to the player's ability to farm Kuva effectively and get better rolls on their Rivens. You were able to farm 200 Steel Essence with a full squad easily within about an hour, if you had the right setup. And I'm not talking about the cellar dwelling no-life farming, which was even more rewarding. The only nerf that should have happened is that spawn rates decrease or stop if the game notices that your whole squad is just camping a specific spot. Instead of DE having to do a cat and mouse race with implementing that nerf on every mission the players would find to be rewarding, they could have just released that globally to punish camping and force a more active playstyle. Now, of course, this would have garnered them a lot of hate, and it would be quite the controversial nerf, but at least they wouldn't have killed a game mode the game really needed. With decent resource rewards, some stronger enemies, and some extra rewards to make it worthwhile for the tiny amount of players who still give a shit about the game. In my eyes, the recent changes punish the player more than anything, and it leaves a foul smell, which deters me from even touching Steel Path seriously anymore. What bothers me even more though is the amount of acceptance in the community for these changes. This isn't just about Steel Path or Steel Essence anymore, this is a global problem. The Endurance community used to be a proud set of people, known to have the best builds and most knowledge on the game, fighting for their rights to hold that title and discussing these nerfs with great ferocity. Some stood up and said, nah, this ain't it fam, this needs to change. But most of the so-called endgame endurance runners and or content creators in that niche either didn't even bother covering the nerfs or just turned around and said, it ain't that bad man, see, you can still gather 200 Steel Essence in a week's worth of gameplay. Now, this isn't me flaming or being toxic towards them. This is me being honest and telling you how it really is. I don't mean harm to any content creator. I don't mean harm to any side of the, well, dead as fuck endurance community. The endurance running scene is dead. It's nothing more than a meme now, since you can quite literally randomize your loadout and run for a good 5 to 6 hours with no issues at all. As you can clearly tell, this upsets me a little, and rightfully so. A big part of the fun I had in Warframe is making sure my build is good enough to deal with level 4000 plus enemies. However, the build variety, or rather lack thereof right now, causes me to not even want to run endurance anymore since 1. There's no reward for it anymore, 2. Builds don't matter, and 3. Finding people who are willing to run for multiple hours is already hard enough. And you could say, well, just run it solo, but that's boring as fuck. Topic number 4. Skins are not content. With the most recent installment of Valentine's Day, this becomes even more clear. It was said to be an event. Events usually have special gameplay attached to them. Something new, or hell, even a repeat of older events would have been something enjoyable to bridge the gap for the new update. What did we get though? We got wings, decorations, and some fucking glyphs. This isn't content. This is the furthest from being content. This sounds fairly toxic, and it is. The amount of skins released is getting out of hand in relation to the amount of actual content released. And I get it, DE is a company, so they will adhere to whatever makes them the most money, which is skins, orbiter items, and glyphs that cost platinum or real life money in terms of Tennogen. New players also play a major role, but after they reach MR8, they are pretty much set up to be the same as every other player. I've seen this on Reddit, the official Discord, and also some other Discords. The massive amount of players posting pictures of their frames was overwhelming to the point where Reddit mods even had to delete the submissions to keep the subreddit somewhat clean. This should paint a picture of what the Warframe community right now is actually like.
Monkey.
Imagine if those same players would spend some time on discussing content, discussing what could make the game better, instead of taking a picture of a new fucking ephemera and spamming multiple channels with it. Now, of course, I also bought the wings, and I can admit that you can shoot some cool pics with it, to slap on your desktop background, or to brag to your friends about who didn't want to farm for something as mundane as an ephemera. But this isn't real and lasting content. This is a temporary hype to get players excited, to then let them down again by the amount of dry months leading up to an update. Same thing with Nightwave. The last one ran for way too long again, and with the intermission at hand, all we're getting is, again, focused around a fucking operator skin and Umbra formas, which you don't even need. But Swag, one of your latest videos was about how to Captura. How can you say that skins aren't content when you create content with them? There's a huge difference in actual content, shooting screenshot after screenshot of your favorite frames. Guys like Ludens, Relentless Zen, Vox Daemon, and the like have perfected the art of action frame and captura, meaning they actually create content with it, but they are the minuscule percentage of players who are able to do that. So yeah, in the end, skins do not equal content. Topic number 5, the community. Oh yes, the juicy bit and everything surrounding it. The community of Warframe starts off fairly nice. A lot of people will help you around the star chart, and at the beginning of 2018, clans were still a thing and held lots of events, etc. You may think that Warframe has the nicest community of all games, since there's virtually no toxicity. That is pretty much true for in-game behavior. Most people are nice, and in my few years of playing this game, I only ever ran into 7 instances where a player was just being a toxic piece of shit. That is not true, however, for the Reddit, YouTube, and Discord communities though. Aside from creators' own communities, where the creators themselves decide the tone of voice used in the conversations and set necessary boundaries. But holy shit, is the Reddit community a cesspool of white knighting, soft-skinned, bitching toxic assholes. Never in my whole career of being a gamer have I met more toxicity, elitism, etc. These guys have their head so far up their own asses that they can't smell their own mouth-breathing stench. Not even League of Legends or CSGO have left such a mark on me, and I'm not even that active in those communities. Basically, if you are a content creator, stay the fuck away from r/Warframe subreddit. Don't even try having normal conversations on the Discords. It's just not worth it. Whatever you say is wrong, or XYZ did it better, there's no room for thoughtful discussions, where the Inaros bad meme reigns and the people talking there mostly don't even play Warframe anymore. Looking at the YouTube comments of most big Warframe creators is like wishing for a headache and getting stomped with a sledgehammer. The negativity, toxicity, elitism, sheer stupidity, and know-it-alls make it a really bad place to be, and uncovers what the community can really be like. The Warframe community as a whole is a cult. Starting a YouTube channel to cover Warframe will leave you both successful if you can stand out from the millions of build videos, and a death sentence for your channel. Why? Because the Warframe community does not accept it if you do anything else than strictly Warframe content. Now of course people have their preferences, and I'm not going to take myself out of it, but man, it's harsh to see people subscribe to a channel that covers Warframe, garnering thousands of views, and as soon as the creator does literally anything else, the views just drop immensely. To me, that means the viewer didn't subscribe because they liked your content, but more so because they want to watch Warframe and Warframe only. There are only a few channels still successful with variety content. The rest just regurgitate shit that everyone already knows to keep their views up. Or they create original content in forms of memes, comedy, or controversy. Controversy channels, not naming anyone, are the best example of how the Warframe community turns on itself, leaving nothing but hate and bad intentions toward both the game and its developers, which is insane. So how do we fix all this? And/or how can we, as a small community of 1,000 people, lead by example? 1. Use the forum as much as possible. I know it's a shitty place to be, and DE more often than not ignores the forum, but even a slight chance of one of our ideas reaching the dev team and making the game better is worth the hassle. So report bugs, get your ideas out there, and make sure you keep things formal and, if possible, positive. Write down your ideas or you'll forget them. Make sure you back your claims up with data and adhere to the rules of the forum. Or join my Discord, where I will be making a section in a hidden channel with a massive amount of tips and things we need that I will be sending to the forum or DE support once a month. While you're doing that, you should definitely head over to a channel called Lifewater. He has a video where he explains the fact that he wants to make the game better, together with other creators and members of the community. He has a section on his stream specifically for conversations about the game, which is pretty cool. Now, I have not asked Lifewater to put this in, nor do I feel the need to. I find this idea good, and the dude has a good understanding on how to communicate the issues to DE. Therefore, link in the description below. Number 2, lead by example. Be the person noobs look up to and veterans despise. Be helpful, be nice, make sure to leave your ego at the door, and support other players as well as you can. Number 3, no toxicity. My community as of right now is full of people who want to help and just hang out with each other. We are few, but man, we are the best. Well, at least in my eyes, somehow. Don't tell them though. Welcome each other with open arms. No hate towards each other. No elitism towards newer or novice players, etc. Make sure the positivity is what gets out there, because if the positivity gets out there, we can make an impact and actually change the community for the better. Number 4, have fun. I know that all of this sounds super serious, but don't forget to have fun. After all, Warframe is just a game.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
There's no need to break your head or heart over it. So chill and just have some good old fun. If you notice that either the community is getting too toxic, the endless grind gets boring, or you just don't know what to do in Warframe, take a break. Spend some time doing something else or work on your ideas on how to prevent the same situation coming up again and post it. Number 5, hold DE accountable and don't accept bullshit solutions. As a community, we have little to no power when we are divided. However, when an update rolls out, or a nerf hits, etc., and we all stand our ground together, there's a higher chance that DE will see what went wrong and revert it or offer a different solution. As a community, we have a responsibility to speak up when something bothers us. Now, obviously, there's so much more to talk about, and I didn't cover even close to everything that I want to talk about right now. I also want to say that if I'm wrong and I fucked up somewhere, I'll own up to it. People make mistakes. So if you do notice something that is out of line, let me know. Also let me know in the comment section what your ideas are for Warframe. How can we make it better, and what are some ways to get our voices heard? Inherently, I have no hate towards the game and don't condescend DE for any mistakes. But without a solid plan and good ideas, I fear that Warframe won't be on the map for a very long time anymore. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed your time and want to support me. Also look in the description box below for all of my social links, as I stream every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at 7 PM Central European Time. Come hang out with us there. Till then, stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you next week. Later.